I'm very excited to talk to you because we talked at the beginning of COVID. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
We
No, I
did.
remember.
It's been some time since we talked,
Yeah.
and life has changed. I think you were up in New York at the time, right? You were kind of secluding yourself
upstate
away
New
up
York.
there. Yeah. So I guess the first question has to be, how did your COVID go? I mean, it wasn't a vacation or anything. So, but did you learn about yourself? Were you working on? I'm trying to remember if you were working on a hobby, like trying to like better yourself and come out like, oh, basket weaving. Look, everyone. I mean, like.
I know it was. I've always had a lot of hobbies because being an actor is one of those things where like you have a lot of downtime when you're in between projects. So, mostly I was raising my child, and then I found some abandoned kittens and bottle-fed kittens for a month, and kept them alive. It was pretty amazing. Now they all have homes. I kept one of them. His name is Ninja. I love him. He has an Instagram because I love him so much.
Well,
and my sister.
The world needs to know. The world needs to know.
Yeah, Ninja Catstagrammer. I'm just plugging my cat. I'm like, listen, if I'm not gonna be Instagram famous, my cat is, okay?
Well, and that's really the key, because you want something that you can be like, all right, you look camera ready, I don't. We're gonna put you on right now. So let's go.
Yeah. He goes on hikes with me. He's just not a normal cat because I raised him. It was the first thing he ever saw. I raised him. I raised him and his brother and sister, but they live with other people now. So he was the lucky one who got to stay. But no, I raised kittens, and then I went back into the world and tried to stop a fight and ended up getting stabbed. Which
yes,
is
I remember. We are Instagram friends, and I remember you sent out a message to everybody, and you were like, I'm okay. This happened. What the fuck? I mean, it's just kind of one of those things that kind of just happened. So I'm glad that you are okay.
Thank you.
And
I mean, I'm still in recovery. Like, it was worse than I knew at the time. I ended up having to have surgery, but I'm getting better.
That's harsh.
But that's mostly what I've been doing COVID. And then I think, like most other people, I think you've sort of been weighing, or at least me, have been weighing the pros and cons of certain friendships and relationships, and putting like time into things that really matter to me, and most of stuff like that. I don't know. I already baked bread, like when I had a baby. Like I've had the bread journey.
I've done all the hobbies. I'm done with the hobbies.
I knit. I crochet. I mean anything.
Bomb disposal. I mean.
I could probably do some more actual needed skills. Yeah, like bomb disposal, like quarantine, like custom clothing or something. Well, I don't know. Like
the problem is though, you don't know how far to go down that hole where you're like, now I'm just somebody who's hoping for a zombie apocalypse at this point. Like that's all I want. And so, unfortunately, I took on some hobbies too. One of which was lock picking. So I'm hoping that comes into place somewhere. I probably should learn how to fly a plane too, maybe along there as well, in case we need to escape. I don't know, an earthquake or a 2012 incident or something, so...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but then at that point, planes won't be necessary because the world will just be over and there won't be an atmosphere, so it doesn't matter, right?
Right. So
you need like a spaceship. You need a rocket ship situation. You gotta think about... And then you have to figure out how you're gonna live outside of Earth's atmosphere.
See, this all just reeks of effort, is my problem with all of that. Sure, I want to live, but do I want to spend my last minutes living, trying to live longer in this? I mean, how does this work?
It's meaningless, really. If there's nobody to share it with, does it really even exist, right? Like, that's the, tree falling in the woods situation.
For sure.
If no one else is left on Earth, is it really worth being here? Like...
Well, I'd hope that I would like have at least a dog. I want to I Am Legend it. I want to have a dog at least, and then or a cat, and then maybe.
Yeah, excuse me. Cats are equally as important as dogs. Okay, they choose to stay with you.
You know what? Agree to disagree, but okay, sure. Well, that's the thing. Like, dogs are happy for you to be there the whole time. Like, I hate to be the last person alive, and the cat's not even paying attention to me. Like, that would be like.
Right.
It's like, I don't really need you. I can survive on my own. I'll see you later.
They
Whatever.
can.
Yeah.
They can. That's what's
I
so
know.
special about them.
I know.
No, it's very witchy of me. Like, my cat literally follows me around. We, like, communicate without words. Like, because a friend of mine was like, oh, he just did this slow blink at me. And when he closes his eyes, because he's a black cat, it's like his face disappears. Yes. His nose is also black, so if he closes his eyes, he just disappears completely. But when they close their eyes at you, it means that they trust you enough to have their eyes closed in the face of, like, danger, right? So that means they love you. And that's what I said. I was like, oh yeah, it just means they love you. And then we looked up, like, what does it mean for a cat to slow blink?
Right.
And apparently it means I love you. I can trust you immensely with my safety.
See, that's the heartfelt answer. My cynical answer is, I don't fear you. I don't fear you. I can close my eyes as long as possible. You're not a danger to me at all. So I feel like that might be the other reason as well. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can Twilight Zone it and actually have glasses and just spend my time reading to the end of time. I'm the last person on Earth or something, figure that whole thing out too. So
yeah, you could learn all about humanity and its social evolution.
Write some really bad
be
poetry.
The last of it.
Yeah.
Write some poetry.
Yeah, and with your cat ninja, I know that your Instagram gets you work with shadows and some artistic nature sometimes in photos. Did you spend some time doing some artistic photos with this cat?
With Ninja, sometimes. It's definitely getting more artsy as we go along. We did some sunrise shoots the other day in upstate, so I feel like he's really gonna get a little bit of flash, a little bit of like blue sky,
Right.
Really cool stuff. Yeah.
Right. Well, this is great because this really cut into the whole first portion where I wanted to talk about cats and cat photography. All the fans are gonna love this.
In season 5, though, like I was here to talk about Rick and Morty season 5, and I'm like, no, sorry, we're talking about my cat now.
Right.
And everyone's like, can we stop with the cat video?
Yeah. Maybe it's a talking cat and you just haven't talked to it yet. That's a connection.
He's a talking cat. It's fine. No, I'm still intrigued as to what happened with the talking cat and where it came from. I don't think anybody's ever going to know. But...
Right. And, let's go into that. Do you ever ask the questions, like, what happened to that? And the writers are just like, I don't know. Like I've talked to Dan a couple times, and he gives me kind of a, we'll see. I don't know. And I'm sure someone smarter would have an answer for you right now, but this is just what I got right now. Like he's like, yeah,
so
Judd Apatow would have an answer for you, but I don't know what's happening. So
it's very true. I think we always just have this what we imagine is always worse than what the thing that we see is.
Right. So
when it comes to things like something terrifying that you see, the convincing part is the reaction of the other people and not necessarily what happened, because our imaginations are so much scarier than real life half the time. Unless you live in 2021 and life is just scary every day. Apparently.
Yes.
It's pretty.
It's just a
lately.
badly written end of the world where someone just it's like a college thesis where someone just kind of left it go at the end. So I don't know.
And then it just kept going.
It just kept on going. It's just part of it. And then, yeah.
And then more, yeah.
Right.
So at least, like, I live in New York, so we're at like 70%. Everyone has their first vaccinations. We had some fireworks. That was exciting. I'm hoping that eventually we're at 70% of both vaccinations. That would be cool. I felt like it was a little bit early for fireworks, but whatever. At least we're like there. And now we got to work on helping the rest of the world get vaccines.
I did want to ask, did that incident change your view of New York at all? Because New York is something where people are always around. There's not like open space where you're like, okay, no one's around for me for like 10 blocks and I could just kind of walk.
I don't know what's scarier.
Yeah, listen, the unknown of New York is the fact that every corner, it's just every corner is everything. It could be everything.
Everything. Totally. It's part of why I love New York. I actually got stabbed like a block away from my house, so it wasn't even like I went very far. Like I just walked around the corner and I'm like, cool, there's my blood on the ground. That's interesting. For a period of time, you deal with like acute stress trauma disorder, right? When an incident happens to you, that happens to lots of people. I wouldn't say that my experience was I wouldn't downplay my experience as being non-traumatic. I definitely consider concealed weapons now as an option. More like, just take it. Just whatever you do, just take it. I don't care. Like, just drop it. And then I'm like, and then you just start screaming. That's the plan. Just act crazier than anybody else. My mom's born and raised in New York, and she was like, why did you try to, like, why weren't you just screaming like a crazy person in the middle of the road? And I was like, I don't know, Mom, I've been in the mountains for too long. The quarantine, it was the quarantine's fault. But I honestly, it did for a period of time, but no, I mean, this is my home a lot of the time. I'll be moving, I have to move back. I always move back and forth from New York to Los Angeles, but New York City is my home. I was born here. My family's from here. I was raised in California. And have worked there, but I moved here when I was 19, and it's been my home since, pretty much. And yeah, it's all the good and the bad in one place.
Right.
And that's what I love about it. It keeps you honest. It keeps you real. Like, you can't avoid humanity there.
No, you have to be on your toes. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, like, now I'm a real New Yorker. I don't know. Like,
you're not a real New Yorker until you've been stabbed. I mean, that's what they say.
No,
yeah.
I mean, or something. Like, I've been very lucky in this city. Like, I think that was one of my more, heroic moments in my life. Unfortunately, like, embarrassing too, because I had to, like, call my parents as, like, a grown-up, being like, hey, so, like,
you're gonna see some stuff.
You may see some things, like, somebody, like, I don't know, at the police or the hospital, I don't know, like, in EM, somebody told them my name, and now...
Oh, yeah.
Now you're gonna know.
I'm okay. I'm okay. That's always that's the best kid answer ever. First and most, I'm okay. So you need to know that. That's whenever parents, like, their stomach just drops. Like,
No, I know. I was like, it wasn't so bad. It's fine. I'm fine. Like, totally in denial. Like, totally in shock. And then it eventually occurred to me. But it's been a really interesting journey for me. I think what happened to me is not any less pretty rough than what happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's just like bad place, bad time, wrong situation, and like, unfortunately, I work as an actress. My dad's famous, so it like became a bigger story, at least in New York City, than it probably needed to be.
Right.
Plenty of people put their life on the line. Stop fights. People get stabbed. People get shot. Like, people die. Like.
It is New York.
What happened to me was not just part of our lives in America, really,
True enough. There's a darker area to everything, a multiverse, a darker reality, and every different alley has a different reality. So, alley.
Exactly.
So, all right. So let's actually talk about the show, because the fans are probably wondering.
Let's talk about Rick and Morty.
Yeah, why not? That's why, like, everyone who read the title of it's like, oh yeah, Rick and Morty. What's happening? So. Let's talk about this show now. I guess the first question has to be, like, can you give me parameters? What can you talk about? Can you talk about things that have come from season 4 to season 5? I mean, do we get into some more Evil Morty stuff? Do we get into Vindicator stuff? Do we get into, I don't know, any more, like, I don't know, what can you talk about? None of those things? I mean, what's the...
Probably none of them, but I can say, from whatever you've seen in the the trailer for season 5, we have kind of a Voltron inspired episode.
Right.
That's there. There's definitely family centric episodes where we're all working together, which is, I think, always a welcomed change. There's the nemesis, like the first episode is Rick's nemesis, who's like some guy in the sea, so that's kind of, I don't know, weird.
Right.
Dan Harmon voices him, which is hilarious. And Rick and Jerry and Beth are working out their relationship, trying new things.
So they're still together. Do we do any more dual Beths? Can you tell us that, or is that kind of something we left behind?
I don't know. I cannot claim nor deny dual Beths.
I understand. All right. Well, that gives me a lot of places to go.
I hope so. I love that there's 2 Beths. It's like, you wanted to add more female characters to it. Let's give like her another dimension of her character. Let's give her a clone. It's fantastic.
Oh, I love Chalky, and I think she does amazing.
She's amazing.
She is.
Absolutely.
Really is.
I mean,
actually, I want to talk to her because I want to be like, all right, so people on Netflix are watching Firefly Lane, and then they watch Paradise PD because it's like it connected somehow. And you're like, that's the same lady? Oh my gosh.
I know. She's a really, really, really talented actress, and also an amazing human, like, and so funny. And I just love I mean, I've never enjoyed working on a show more than I've enjoyed working on Rick and Morty. Truly, like, I love everybody I've worked with on this show, and it's funny because most of the time we only see each other when we are doing interviews together.
Right.
We're doing Comic-Cons, and it's almost like we are all so similar in the comedy that we do and the kinds of people that we are, that we just always continue to get along. Like, we just continue to pick up from where we left off.
Well, that's where I first met you. You and Sarah were paired together at Comic-Con. Yeah, Comic-Con. Yeah, and so you were paired together, and you both just had so much fun together. I'm like, how could this not be a fun time if both of them are in it? Really and everyone there is just like, they're always surprised when they see first the voice of whoever it is, and then also just how much connection you both have too. So it must be very cool, even though there's a separation that when you do come together, it's kind of like it's riding a bike, I guess.
It's like family. Yeah. No, I mean, I wish I could work with her on camera stuff. It'd be really fun. She's so great. Such a great talent, truly.
So I guess I want to ask, does Summer have any cool I guess duos with anyone? Like with, the one with Mom last year was more about destroying, snakes and other things, and their spiders in evil ways and interesting ways. Or, but is there something with her and Rick, or something with her and Morty alone? We had the invisibility belt thing.
The invisibility belt.
So is there some kind of some fun kind of tangents where Beth kind of teams up with separate people? She always kind of gives a cold shoulder to Jerry. Is there anything more with that? I mean, is there more kind of an openness there this season, maybe?
Jerry, maybe. No, there's. I have a few pretty big episodes as Summer, where there's a lot of stuff that goes on. I have. That I'm really proud of and really excited to share when we get to it, and I'll probably just be so happy to just have you guys be entertained. but in terms of anything else, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the questions you're asking are all really intelligent, smart questions that I think the audience would like to know. And then you're just writers,
you're just throwing a rock. Look over there. And I just try to every time. Yeah, I got it.
At some point, the writers will eventually get around to most of those things, I think, over time, just based off of, we have so many more episodes to do. So all of those will be revealed.
Right. Ooh. Just wait. Well, and that's the cool thing, is because the writing never goes where we think. And they don't, necessarily, we want some things to come back. Interdimensional TV became mind blowers. So I mean, there's things like that changed as well. So do we get something else? Do we get any of those back this season, or do we get something different that's kind of in the same vein? Do you know?
Thinking. I don't know.
Okay. I'll just have you call and do a voiceover later, and I'll just put it over this audio, and when you can't talk about it, I'll just put some peanut butter in your mouth so we can fill in whatever later on. Yeah.
I don't think I'm really allowed to say anything.
I gotcha. No, and that's probably the smart way to do it.
I want everyone to be surprised.
Yeah.
I think it's it's sort of part of the fun. We have by the way, a world premiere. What is that?
Yes, the world premiere. And that's one of those.
The world premiere. It's not just in America. It's everywhere. It's premiered everywhere.
Global Rick and Morty Day.
Global.
June 20th. So that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal right there. 100%. So yeah, I think that's going to be something that people are really going to they're all ready for as well. And the other thing that I have to say too is there's a Wendy's drink as well, I guess. Wendy's drink with Mellow Yellow Portal Time, Lemon Lime, and Berry Jerry Brie drinks.
Wow.
But there needs to be a summer drink.
Stop. What? That's so funny. We'll get there. We'll get to the summer drink.
What would be a good soda drink for summer? Do you have a thought of what would be a good flavor profile? What's innocuous where I'm not paying attention to flavor?
She's probably like a spiked seltzer, like a hard seltzer. You know what I mean?
So she's basic, she's like a truly White Claw kind of girl?
She's like a White Claw flavor. You know it.
Poor Summer. Oh. It's all right. For the summer.
Like mango. She's Mango White Claw.
You know what, though? Her name is Summer, and Truly and White Claw, all that seltzers are perfect for the summer. There you go.
That's what I mean.
Connection.
Yeah.
Connection made.
Summer seltzer.
All right. Well, I know you can't give us too many answers, but I do want to kind of have some more fun. Last time we talked, I did kind of show you some images of what the fans were doing out there with their art and summer, and so I kind of want to bring back some of that again, and I wanted to see get your thoughts here too. Of course, they go into their own ventures, and COVID let them stew among their own juices. Let's just say. Totally. So to begin with, this is kind of a cutesy one here.
Okay.
Just kind of a.
That's cool.
He's got a kind of a scared-ish
kind of scared, terrified.
A little scared. You can almost see a little snot bubble coming out.
Yeah, it's just a little exactly. Yeah.
Well, I
like it.
It's good. Let's go to cutesy actually.
Oh yeah.
And she's got her little unicorn there, and she's like almost like a little Judy Jetson car flying in the sky.
Tinkles. Yeah, that's Tinkles.
Tinkles, yes.
Cute Tinkles.
And then
I like her. She's very suave with her like capri pants.
Which I'm not a fan of capri pants, but I'll go into that in a different time. But let's just go.
Okay.
Yeah. And then here is this.
Sexy Summer.
Right. Yeah, well, and that's where that's the trouble. Once you start to get into sexy Summer, then you start to be like, oh, we got some trouble here.
She's well clothed though, like we see things, but we don't see a lot of skin,
Right.
So it's still a little PG, right?
It is a little PG, and then we go to yoke. Just
yoked. Yeah.
Yoked. Just buff beyond comparison. So,
totally.
I still think of Summer and Rick when I hear DMX.
I know.
So.
Me too. Rest in peace.
X gonna give it to you. What can I say? What can you say? Let's move on to this one right here. This one is a fun little image. Yeah.
Real life Summer.
Right, and she's wearing heels, sexy. Which I never thought about. Is Summer wearing flats or heels in the show?
Yeah, she wears. I think she wears like ballet flats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, she's like a superhero in this one. She's got like that very like comic book body,
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we move to the Futurama-esque kind of look too as well.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
that one's cool.
Let's
very
see.
Cool.
This one I really enjoyed as well. Her and.
Oh yeah, this one's nice. And Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Poopy Butthole.
She looks hot. She's a boxer in this one.
She is, right?
She's a kickboxer. Yeah. She's got her hands wrapped.
I don't know what it is about the Sanchez line, but they can always hit people. Like they always know how to just hurt people one way or the other.
Yeah. And her boxers say "Keep Summer safe" on them. Pretty good. I want those.
You want those? I'm sure a fan will make it for you.
Please make me those. I want those. Those are hot.
Here's a mind blowers right here. So kind of, and the freckles are on point apparently. Someone really likes the freckles, so.
Really likes the freckles. She's got some androgynous, like,
right
vibes coming.
For sure.
She's got her shit together in this one. She's got her shit together.
And then, let's just let out that anger as well, so.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Favorite quotes also. Nobody chokes me without consent. How true. Thank you, Summer. Thank you for being my truth.
Right.
Yeah, and she's got a great what are those called? The Sami sword? What are they called?
Samurai sword?
Samurai swords, but they're called something.
Oh,
I can't remember.
I can't think of it now. Machete.
That is a form of, that looks like a machete, to be honest. Yeah, we'll just call that a machete.
Well, let's do it that because we know the answer to that. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, it's a machete. That is not Japanese at all, by the way.
It's not an 8th century Japanese katana or whatever, too.
Katana, I think it is.
Okay.
I think it's a katana sword, yeah.
All right, so now we're getting into some fan, I guess, divergence with what they were.
Okay.
So,
Summer's got a big booty.
Yes, she does.
She seems concerned about it, but I think it looks great on her. So.
Or maybe this is just that, like she got the growth started on the behind first, and then maybe that's where it's going. So. And then I don't know if you know this because I was looking through art and I learned a lot. Some things that I probably want to forget, but there were some things, but there is a huge contingent that like Summer's feet. and I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if there was like an episode and I missed something, or is it just a group of people who are like, this is where we're going, everyone get on the bus, and like they just kind of go.
I mean, I think the longer we have more exposure to different kinds of media, the more we get into more specifications of things we like. So animation with foot fetishes is probably a thing. I mean, don't knock it till you try it, okay?
That's the quote we're going to put here.
That's a pretty nice looking foot, okay? I'm cool with Summer's feet. If you keep drawing them like that, keep it going, guys. I'm into it.
Well, and that's something with the fans too, because they do take it onto themselves. I mean, how deep do you search into fan images, or even like, I'm sure I've never read anything, but I'm sure there's fan stories and Reddits and little divergent stories and things that you probably like, I shouldn't have read that. I just want to put that down and go pray on something.
Once, I mean, I haven't done a lot. My friends are on Reddit and they read a lot of the Rick and Morty stuff and send me like cool memes, which is really fun for me. You know, be like, this one's really great, and I'm like, love this, thank you. But there was a story when I was doing Greek that was somebody wrote fan fiction about me and a co-star of mine in like real life, like if I left my husband and my son and like started dating him, and I was like, this is a little too far, guys. Like, I don't even know how this was like 10 years ago. I don't know how I stumbled on that. It was so I haven't really read anything since then, because I was like, this is a little like, if my son when he's like 14 happens to find that Tumblr, he's gonna be like, Mom, what the fuck is this? Excuse my language. She's like, what the hell is this?
Wow.
And I'm like,
your son's salty at 14.
He's already salty, which is why when I said that, I was like, oh, sorry, he may already talk like that. I don't know. We watch Rick and Morty. What can we say? His mom plays Summer, all right? Like, he lives in New York, okay? Like, he's a tough kid. No, I think about, like, him more than that, but I haven't read anything too terrible.
Right.
Yet.
Right. Well, unfortunately, some people out there.
Have you? You have, clearly.
I have not. I have not. No, the problem is I know me, and so I could create a story right now and create, multitudes of chapters of things out there as well. The real problem isn't necessarily if you read it. If the problem is you're like, that's hot. I gotta think about that. Like that's
like,
where you're like, I gotta think about that. Is that?
No, I've definitely seen some things I didn't want to see. Like,
right.
I've definitely come up upon some videos that I was like, no, definitely not something I feel comfortable watching.
Right. Yeah, stay away from anime and anything like that. That's when it tends to go darker. You start to be like, I don't like octopuses or tentacles. I don't know why this world is happening. Let's stay away from that. Although Rick and Morty has plenty of
ASMR. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So ASMR on that. Rick and Morty has a lot of tentacles too. So there's probably another fan base out of there as well too. So
yeah, it's possible. I mean, listen, the freakier I just want people to be themselves, right? Like, enjoy life. We only get one. Like, it's true. And it's fast, and you never know when it's gonna be taken away. So just be who you are and love who you love.
100%. My thought is, if you're not hurting anybody else, have fun.
Exactly.
Go to it.
You're not hurting anybody else.
Enjoy yourself. I live in Las Vegas, and this town is based on. You want to do it? Sure, $5. Go for it. Like, enjoy. Whatever.
$5. You're like, it's also cheap. So I'm like,
it can be. Whoa. We're no longer 99-cent shrimp cocktail, but we can offer other stuff at a bargain price. So you never know.
99 shrimp. That would be really. I'd be like, is it real shrimp, guys, or is it like, what's it made out of? Is it vegetarian?
It's not vegetarian. They're very small. They had a fight to get to Las Vegas.
Shrimp.
It's a little bitty. Right. It's bay shrimp or whatever, like
Bay shrimp, right? So is it like in the actual shape of an actual shrimp cocktail?
It is,
like,
but they condensed it into like a sundae cup, and they pushed it down in there, so it's like one gelatinous form. Like if you would stick a fork in it, it comes out. It's just like a popsicle at this point.
And you eat it like a popsicle. Wow.
Shrimp popsicle. Yeah, it's a thing. I
was hoping it was like mini, right? That it was like a miniature shrimp cocktail where the little tiny shrimps are around the outside of the tiny little bowl.
Right. You put too much time and effort. Way more effort than they're doing into it.
I'm gonna make one of those.
Do it. I want to see it on Instagram. Your own shrimp cocktail, and you kind of share that to the world too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start making mini food, okay?
I think so too. And then also some mini clothes for your cat as well, and then have your cat eat mini food. It's just, it all works out. It's all part of it. I do want to ask one last thing. The Barbarian of the Troll as well.
Oh, yeah.
Brendar. So tell me about coming into this world and how you feel about felt. How do you feel about felt?
How do I feel about felt?
Yeah, the puppets are made of felt, right?
They are. They're made of felt. It feels rough. It's soft. It makes a cool sound.
ASMR.
Yeah. You wanna bust those levels up. You wanna be real at a whisper. It's great. It's hot.
Right.
No, I I'd never done a voice for a puppet animation. It's quite different. It's it's like doing on camera work, but fitting my voice into a puppet was quite difficult. Very different than what I did with Summer, because Summer comes straight out of me, so I had to kind of adjust some of the timing to fit it in a mouth, and it was great. I mean, it was really challenging. I had a great time doing it. It was also really nice to do a show that I can recommend to my younger siblings.
Right.
Because I have like siblings who are like, under the age of 8.
Right.
So they can't really watch Rick and Morty yet. And they love it. They're huge fans. My dad's kids are really huge fans of the Barbarian and the Troll, and of Brendar particularly. And I just think it's super cool, like to get. There's something like textural about it that's different than doing Rick and Morty animation, where I come in, I do my voice, I leave. For me, it's almost like I got to experience it a lot as if I was on camera, but while still maintaining the voiceover work. So.
Right.
I get to do lots of screaming and fighting sounds and efforts, and so great. My favorite. I could do that all day, honestly. It's like, I want to do more and more and more animation.
Very
more.
More and more. Well, you know what? The world has definitely leaned into it. Whether it's anime, whether it's radar animation, whether it's shorts, Adult Swim has a plethora of stuff that is kind of coming out every which way. And then Nickelodeon is also, gangbusters as well. So everything is very cool. So we hope to see you in more there. If you do come out to LA, perhaps we'll see you in some live action stuff as well. Have some fun.
I took a little bit of some time off to heal my hand. Yeah. This year, But yeah, probably. Right. You may. I'm in a short film in the Palm Springs Film Festival, and I have some other films I'm working on. Yeah, I'm finishing up graduate school for screenwriting and directing. Well, directing. So I have some films I'll be working on making in the next year.
Well, we'll look forward to pictures of you holding up the glass to your eye, looking at different things and framing stuff.
Director's lens.
We'll send you a beret to make sure it feels right and it's artistic enough.
Some riding boots. Yeah, right. Thanks. Yeah, no, you gotta wear the outfit apparently.
Yes.
So.
You know what? If you look like you, unfortunately, I've met so many directors who are just in t-shirts and like dolphin shorts, and like, why is this a thing? Like, what's happening here? So.
Why do you wear dolphin shorts? Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah. They want to show off hairy, gradient tanned legs, apparently. So whatever, that's fine.
Wow. Yeah, that's. My legs won't be hairy, but I'll try my best to have a gradient. Okay.
Well, unfortunately, most of these have been men, so that's why I'm going with it.
Right. Well, that would be I think women could bring a little bit more class to the table.
I hope so. I hope so.
Put a little bit more work into this. Yeah.
Well, and we look forward to what you create yourself, whether it is going to be, I guess, in front of the camera or behind it too, and film festivals, and as you can see, worlds out there are starving for good content. So we hope you have some great ideas that you're ready kind of to work on and bring out as well too. So
yeah. I do.
I understand. Well, we believe in you. How about that? We believe in you. We're behind you. So 100%. Well, I want to thank you so much for talking with us. I'm actually talking with your dad next Monday for the God Committee, I believe, is his movie.
Oh, fantastic.
So yeah. Is there any message you want to say to him, or anything we should pass on, and just say, hey, by the way, she said get to work. I don't know.
Hey, Dad, thanks for dinner the other night. It's always lovely to see you. I just start making you do my thank yous. I'm like, I had an interview with your daughter. She said thanks. She loves you.
Thanks for picking up the tab. And
thanks for
say hello to your mother for me.
Yeah, so good. We'll see you soon. No, I'm seeing him this weekend. I'm flying back to LA, so
Oh, very cool.
I'll see him Sunday. But yeah, no, he's the best. I absolutely love him. He's been an inspiration for me, truly.
Sure.
You know, and he makes me laugh all the time. He's my daddy.
That's the kid. Yeah. Nice.
You have big shoes to fill.
Well, and that's it. Yeah, I'm sure that was a thing growing up. Any guy had to be like as good as my dad, or better than, or kind of.
Tell me about it. Yeah, I was like, so he's also tall. He's also kind of scary, and very smart. So. Good luck. Exactly.
May the
Good
odds
luck.
be in your favor.
If you can't cut it, I mean, I'm the oldest also, so I have like the most, what do you call it? Spunk, I would say.
Right.
Spunk. Yeah, I was the spunkiest of the kids, I'd say.
Right.
But I'm tough, smart. I'm a smart human, and my father and I have a lot in common.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, may the odds be in their favor, I guess, then. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Outside of that, we hope for safe travels. We hope that you come to LA and you find a bunch of fun stuff to do here. Stay in the sun for a little while. It's very warm, but I'm sure you'll survive somehow. But you know what, though? Yeah, less humidity. So, New York humidity was never my favorite part of New York. So... That's there's some things there too. So outside of that, though, Rick and Morty looks amazing. We look to be having so much fun. Everyone's gonna enjoy. I want to thank you so much. Always a pleasure talking with you. We'll look for your Ninja Cat Instagram as well as your Instagram, whatever artistic nature either of you decide to veer off to. And besides that, Rick and Morty is amazing, and Rick and Morty Day shall be celebrated. So thank you.
Rick and Morty Day. Thank you, Derek.
All right. Thank you very much.